everything. My name is Tamara Whitney, and I'm the president-elect of District 3 and co-organizer for the Region 1 Fall Training. As a way to bring additional content and to get to know some of our speakers and state leadership better, we've set up a limited series podcast for you to enjoy at your leisure. So if you are binge watching or listening to these all at once as they were sent out, or if you're taking your time and enjoying them day by day, I hope this cast finds you well. Today, we are joined with Cprs Vice President Frank Carson. Frank is the Park and Recreation Director for the City of El Cajon, California, located way down in District 12, about 5 minutes outside of San Diego State University. And it is a pleasure to have you with us today. Welcome, Frank.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for making the time. It's so nice to chat with you. Tell us about the city you work for and your role within CPRS.
So I've been in Parks and Recreation for almost 30 years. And I started out as a part-timer and worked at summer camps. I worked at an overnight camp in Pennsylvania, worked part-time for City of Coronado as a lifeguard swim instructor. Did City of San Diego as a pool manager, did a 1-year stint with the YMCA. It's like 7 years anywhere else, just kidding. I worked as a rec supervisor for the city of Chula Vista. So my first 13 years were in aquatics, and then I transitioned to more land. And I've been in El Cajon for almost 8 years now. I also am a volunteer swim and water polo coach for my 16-year-old swim and water polo team. So I help out with that. I'm an assistant coach, but I have all the credentials to be a coach.
Nice.
Because, you know, I was like, hey, you want some help? And they said, sure. I teach at San Diego State, so I teach outdoor education and camp administration at San Diego State. So when I saw your rapid fire question about camp song, I was like, dude, let's bring it. Let's do this.
Let's do it. You've said it now. Like you may be setting the bar.
Did I blow it? Did I blow? Oh, sorry about that.
You got
City of El Cajon, we are the biggest city in eastern part of San Diego County. We're about a little over 100,000. Some unique things is we are the lowest income city in San Diego County. We also have the highest refugee population in San Diego County. Most of our refugees actually come from the Middle East. So we have a large portion of that is actually Chaldean or Iraqi Catholics or Iraqi Christians that have come over. And it's a very unique, diverse city in many respects. The role that I currently have with CPRS is that I serve as the vice president on the state board.
Part of your role keeps you interested every day?
You know, there is always something new every day, and that is the fun part of trying to figure out how to get that puzzle piece just right.
What was your favorite part so far? I'll give you like the past 24 hours. What was like your
That's kind of a weird one, but past 24 hours, let's see here. We had a person that's a parolee that has been breaking into some of our park areas after hours, that was caught by the cops smoking crystal meth in the park at 5:30, was arrested, and then park staff saw him in the park an hour later. So that was probably the most interesting part of my last 24 hours of having to address that, work with the city attorney to get a trespass order going. But we're going a little too deep on that one. Sorry.
I mean, come back to the shallow end of the pool. Come, yes. Bring it back. Bring back your floaties. Come on this side. But hey, at least your last 24 hours wasn't boring, because that would have been a bummer.
It's never boring.
That would have been a bummer. What do you think is your most challenging part of your job in the public sector?
I think it's trying to stay connected, especially right now, to our community, and thinking of new ways to stay connected to our community during these unprecedented times, but also having that, being able to tell our story to people internally, to make sure that they know that, hey, we are a very important part to this larger scope of all the departments, and being a good team player with that. But definitely the challenging part is staying connected externally as well as internally, so people see us out and about still.
You did some really cool things at the start of the shelter-in-place orders. I remember seeing that you had a van, right?
We have a repurposed land survey vehicle that's bright orange, and we did a sabotage Beastie Boys like video rendition of it, and how we were gonna, we were doing a hopscotch challenge, so we're gonna draw hopscotches in front of people's houses. They applied online, but trying to do something. I was like, okay, we gotta do something, people. So that was
I
what we
loved
did.
that. I loved like going around and seeing those hopscotches that were just in places and being able to follow you around. And of course the van is orange. Like I can't
Yeah.
believe that it would not have been a recreation car, right? Like it almost has to be orange.
Everybody asked why orange, and I go, because that's the color it came in. So we
Yeah,
just bought a wrap for it for about $900 and did that.
great price too. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it's a recreation price.
If you could change any part of your job, what would it be? This is always a
Oh.
fun question to ask directors. Um,
Hmm.
because you're like, well, I can't really say that. I can't say that one.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I want to change anything. Uh, I'll be honest, I have a very good job in terms of relationships where I can text the school superintendent or the police chief or fire chief anytime I need to. So I see that as a huge positive where I wouldn't necessarily have that in a lot of places. But I think still we have a lot of our departments or a couple of our departments working in silos and not willing to kind of branch out as much as I wish they would. And there's a lot of opportunity too. They still kind of hunker down. And if there's one thing I could change would be having the other working units try to leave their little comfort zones and, let's do this together type of thing.
Invite them out to hopscotch.
Yeah, I drew one
The one
down
right in the middle.
at our employee entrance door. We have a little video of it. I saw him got in the video, but somebody took a video of it, so I'm excited to see that.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's
Super
really
cheap.
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Prior to COVID, because we have several sessions about this at the Corona conference, I'm really interested to hear. Prior to COVID, what was your biggest stretch opportunity that you were given, or job that provided the biggest stretch opportunity for you, and what was your outcome?
So it was August 2010.
Uh-huh.
I remember this moment. We had already laid off almost half of our staff, and I was with the city of Chula Vista at the time, and I was operating 4 facilities by myself as a full-timer and bouncing between the 4 like daily, trying to figure it out. And my director at the time sat me down, going, "Hey, we're going to need you in an acting role, and we need you to take on the senior center since the senior center supervisor is taking that over." And at first, the seniors weren't happy because I did not have any senior center experience. And but I slowly won 96% of them over, maybe 98% of them over. But that was definitely the big stretch, and that was an opportunity where I saw myself where I want to try to learn this. And I remember the first meeting I had with a big senior group. They're like, "What have you done with seniors before?" And I said, "I taught water aerobics." So that was about my extent of it, and learned from there. But I would say the most appreciative group of me providing services that I ever got that attention every day was working and running a senior center for the 2.5 years I did that.
Do you think it changed like the trajectory of your career, like just working in seniors, or do you think you would have left, like, because you were in aquatics before that, do you think you would have left before?
I had already been out of aquatics for about 7 years.
Okay.
So I was doing youth sports, center programming, like satellite programming, facility rental. But that I knew that if I was going to learn quickly new skill sets, that was the challenge I needed to accept. And so I jumped at the chance, even though it was a really difficult time for me, definitely.
I love that you share that experience, and I love that you share how authentic it is, because I think so many of us, especially as we start seeing how budgets are going to shift, or needs change, or spaces aren't able to open, but you still have those transferable skills that would make you valuable in another division or another department or another side of your department. I think it's going to be something that comes up really frequently. Do you have a favorite transferable skill, or like when you're looking at staff or looking to move folks from one space to another, things that you're looking for in that employee that may make them a good fit to go somewhere? Or how does that kind of, does it come into play?
I did rotate. I have 16 full-time staff. I rotated all of them, including the aquatics person. I rotated all of them almost 2 years ago. Yeah. And I told them every 4 to 5 years, we're going to do this. And I wanted to show them to go out of the comfort zone. But for me, and when I go and talk to students, I tell them, and I'm a little unique in this, the biggest impact for me when I'm hiring somebody or when I'm looking at somebody is that what kind of experience do they have in terms of managing large groups of people. And being that I'm a little biased, I worked at an overnight camp for 5 summers in upstate Pennsylvania. It means a lot to me if you were like a lead for a day camp or you did overnight camp even for 1 summer. It tells me that you did the hustle. Like you can handle 50 kids and not break a sweat type of thing in terms of calming them down, having them listen to you, and not freaking out in a special event situation if things aren't going your way. I know that you have that experience. So having that little unique skill set, I'm like, oh, okay, this person can handle the bad stuff too. Okay, I like this.
I like it. I like the rotation between people. That's fun.
I'd say probably about half liked it and half did not like it. So
that was going to be a follow-up question: is how
yeah.
it responded to.
It's the first time it had ever happened. We had one person at a rec center for 38 years, and I gave them a 1-year kind of heads up, like, look, I want to do this. I would like to do it this year, but I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to push you out. But if you feel like I'm trying to push you out, I'll wait a year just so you can kind of absorb this idea. I value you. I want you to stay here, but I'm going to rotate everybody because I need your institutional knowledge to be transferred to somebody else type of thing. And I want everybody to be stronger. And my argument was that people that applied to be manager, they had one niche skill set. And I needed them to at least have 2 or 3 hats, not just one, in order if they wanted to elevate their game to the next level. And that was a good argument. It was real. Everybody understood. It's just half the people just didn't like the change. They were comfortable with what they were doing, and it's hard to see that change coming. I was able to give everybody either their first or second choice. I even gave like this whole little list, except for one person. And that one person was super flexible with whatever I gave them. Anyway.
Hats off for you for doing the rotation.
All right.
But we are now time for some rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Change it up on you. Here we go. And what color is your toothbrush?
Blue.
If I gave you a pet right now, what would you name it?
Spike.
Favorite restaurant that you've ordered from during shelter in place?
Salud Tacos in Barrio Logan.
What did you order?
I ordered a chicharron taco because it's different. Why not?
So with that being said, tacos or burgers?
I live 5 miles from the border of Tijuana, so I'm going to have to say tacos.
Pete's or Starbucks?
Probably Starbucks.
What is the best thing that has happened to you this month?
This month? Oh, boy.
It's 4 days in.
I know. That's why I'm like, that's not easy. Let's see here. Best thing would be I ran a 5K at a pretty good time. I'm pretty happy with just under 30 minutes. So that's probably the best thing. Like my own little battle with myself, 5K.
Look at you. Look at you.
And I'm not a runner.
You're not a runner and you ran it. I'm proud. That's amazing. High five. High five. Way to stretch yourself. And last but not least, Frank, what is the best day camp song? And would you give us a quick rendition?
I like to say Father Abraham.
Okay, here we go.
Have you heard this one?
I have, but I want to hear your version.
Everybody's going to say, stop now. All right. Father Abraham and 7 sons, and 7 sons and Father Abraham. They never laughed. Oh, no, they never cried. All they did was go like this with the right foot. All right, I'm going to stop it.
That was fantastic. Frank Carson, thank you so much for giving me your time today. I greatly appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to share with the attendees of our Corona conference, care conference?
Thank you for staying engaged. Thank you for staying involved. And we look forward to seeing you again in person in the future, hopefully.
Gosh, we can't wait for that when we can all be together at a conference again and really being able to connect with everyone in person. Those will be great times. Yep. It has been an absolute joy to chat with you, and to you attending the CARE conference, we hope you're having a great day, because remember, Corona ain't ruining everything. Hope you have a great day, everybody.